Guten Morgen, lads and lassies, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we're going to make a really fast, concise video that will hopefully help you do a full lap around the cable. So I'm mainly going to talk about doing corners and how you can best approach them to make sure that you don't get your arms pulled off or that you don't get a face plant. If you do want to know how to get up on a cable, then I have a video and I'll put the link up here. But other than that, once you're up, you're on the water, you want to take the first corner. Here is some top tips on how to do it. So every full-size cable operates either clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now, whatever the way it goes round, it doesn't matter. You're either going to end up doing it heel side or toe side. For the sake of this video, we're going to begin with the heel side and then we're going to talk about the toe side afterwards. But the most important thing is that the same rules apply for both, and you'll learn more about that now as we go. So tip number one, when you're about 20 feet from the corner, you want to position yourself directly under the cables. Then as you approach, let's say 10 feet away from the corner, you want to then edge on those heels a little bit, not too strong, but a nice consistent progressive edge. Now the other thing to note, and tip number two, is where your arms are. So you don't want your arms directly straight, as when you go around the corner it'll pull you like that. You also don't want them in here, as you can tend to fall back. So you want a little bit of a kink in your arms, and also make sure to be putting all the weight through your shoulders. So instead of being in this position, roll the shoulders back, have a little bend in the arms. Then as you're going around that corner, you're getting there on the heel side. Tip number three, and this is the biggest tip, is to then convert your edge from those heels to the toes. What that's going to do is that's actually going to turn the corner for you, and it's going to make sure that you don't get whipped around the corner if you stay on your heels, and then you'll get a face plant, and we're avoiding them at all costs. So make sure to take that corner with your head. You can look at the carrier, which is the place where your rope's tied on, or you can actually even look a little bit ahead. It doesn't really matter so much. As long as you're not looking down at the water, you will be all G. There's another kind of myth in wakeboarding, and there's another thing that people say, make sure you go between the two buoys, because there's always two buoys. Now, I would say for a lot of cable parks that is absolutely gospel. However, it's not gospel in general, because some cable parks, unfortunately, they're not in the perfect position. So don't worry too much about them. Instead, focus when you're 10 foot away. Just make sure to have a nice little edge on the heels. Then as you get to the corner, then transfer onto the toes, and boom, you'll ride away absolutely easily. Now, as I said before, the same rules apply when you're taking a corner toe side. So don't overthink it. It's the exact same. You want to start from about 10 foot away. You want to get on that edge. Then as you get to the corner, you want to transfer onto your heels and take the corner. One tip I do find that helps is if you're, let's say, worried about going over the front, try and take most of the weight in your front arm, and you can actually even on the corner maybe take your backhand off, although that can put a lot of strain in your front arm. So don't overanalyze that. It's just a potential other option if you're scared of catching a front edge. That is basically how to take a corner. In quick summary, start 10 feet from the corner, get on the edge, then as you get to the buoys, you don't necessarily have to go through them. Take the corner by changing your edge from a heel to a toe or a toe to a heel. Keep looking up and ahead of you, and then take the corner. And that is all there is to it. Another thing that I would say is most cable parks operate on a 5-tower system. Now this makes it easier than a 4-tower, as the turns tend to be a little bit more gentle. And generally in about 90% of the cables in the world, the last corner will always be the toughest, so be aware of that. And when a corner is tougher, and what I mean by tougher is maybe has more of an angle on it, then you want to actually cut a little bit later and a little bit harder, and that way you'll keep better line tension. But for now, it's raining because I live in Ireland, so I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helps. A few people have asked me for it, so I thought, you know what, it's an easy video to make for you guys, so I hope that it does help. See you soon.